Imagine this. You are standing alone on the vast, unforgiving plains of the African Savannah. It is the peak of the dry season. The midday sun beats down, baking the cracked red earth beneath your boots. The air is still. Too still. A thick, shimmering heat haze warps the horizon, making the distant acacia trees look like they are melting into the white-hot sky. A few hundred yards away, a massive herd of antelope grazes nervously. Their ears are twitching sharply backward, listening to the wind. Their dark, glossy eyes scan the tall, burnt grasses. Their muscles are coiled like tight springs. They are a prey species tuned to the absolute highest frequency of survival. They know something you don't. Every shadow is a threat. Every rustle of the dry grass is a warning. And then, without warning, the grass moves. It's not a bone-chilling roar that freezes the blood. It's not a sudden, explosive blur of speed, just movement, silent, controlled, inevitable. A pack of painted predators steps out of the dappled shadows and into the glaring sunlight. And what they do next will terrify you, because they don't drop low to ambush. They don't sprint to close the gap. They don't try to stay hidden. They simply start running, and once they begin, they never, ever stop. For the hunted, this isn't a chase. A chase implies there is a chance to get away. This is a slow, unstoppable countdown. A grueling psychological marathon where exhaustion isn't just likely, it is an absolute guarantee. And escape? Escape is just an illusion. Welcome back to the channel, wildlife lovers. Today we are diving deep into the dust, the blistering heat, and the raw, unpolished brutality of the African savannah. We are here to uncover one of the most elite, highly specialized hunting machines on the entire planet. Not the heaviest, not the strongest, not the fastest, but without a shadow of a doubt, the most unstoppable. We are talking about the African wild dog, scientifically known as Lycaon pictus, the painted wolf, the ultimate marathon runner of the animal kingdom. If you want to survive out here, you need to forget everything you think you know about apex predators. Forget the lone, silent assassin like the leopard, dropping from the canopy to snap a neck in the dark. Forget the explosive, blink and you miss it, 60-mile-per-hour speed of the cheetah. Forget the sheer, terrifying brute force of a massive male lion. Because what you are about to witness today is something far more dangerous. It's a system, a masterclass in algorithm-like strategy, a perfectly synchronized, living, breathing team built for one terrifying purpose: relentless pursuit. To truly understand why these painted predators are so extraordinarily deadly, you have to look much closer. Because nature does not make mistakes. Everything about them, every muscle, every bone, every patch of fur, is designed with absolute ruthless intention. At first glance, they look almost beautiful, like living, breathing pieces of abstract art wandering the plains. Their coats, splashed randomly with jet black, stark white, vibrant gold, and deep earth brown, are completely unique. No two wild dogs are ever the same. It is a fingerprint written in fur. But out here, it's not about beauty. It's about identity. In the chaotic whirlwind of a high-speed hunt, when dust is exploding like a storm and animals are dodging at breakneck speeds, that highly contrasted pattern becomes a vital visual signal. It creates a strobe light effect in the grass, confusing the prey while giving the pack a way to stay intimately connected. A way to track each other, through the thick brush. A way to function not as 20 individuals, but as one single, terrifying organism. But the real secret to their unstoppability lies beneath the surface. They are bioengineered for extreme endurance in an environment that actively tries to kill you with heat. Look at their frames, lightweight, highly aerodynamic bodies, weighing only about 40 to 70 pounds. Long, spindly legs that look delicate but act like steel springs. Deep, massive chests that house abnormally large lungs and a heart that pumps oxygen through their bloodstream with mechanical efficiency. While a lion is built like an Olympic weightlifter, the painted wolf is built like an ultra-marathon runner. And then there's a detail most people completely miss. Look down at their feet. If you look at a domestic dog or a timber wolf, they have 5 toes on their front paws, including a dew claw. The African wild dog, only 4 toes, no dew claw. Why? Because over millions of years of evolution, nature stripped away anything that wasn't strictly necessary. Less friction, less drag, a longer, smoother, highly aerodynamic stride. Every single step is optimized. For distance, for stamina, for outlasting whatever they decide to kill. Even their massive, oversized, rounded ears are doing double duty. Yes, they act as biological satellite dishes, detecting the faintest snap of a twig or the heavy breathing of a terrified antelope miles across the savannah. But they also serve as complex biological radiators. Packed with a dense network of blood vessels close to the skin, those ears catch the rushing wind as the dogs run. The wind cools the blood, sending it back into the body, allowing them to run under the brutal, scorching African sun without their brains overheating. Every single feature answers one simple, terrifying question: how do you outlast your prey? And that brings us to their true weapon. Not bite force, not retractable claws, not speed, but pure, unadulterated strategy. Before the hunt even begins, something incredible happens. Something you won't see in a pride of lions or a clan of hyenas. As the late afternoon sun turns the sky into shades of crimson and violet, the pack gathers. They wake from their slumber under the shade of a massive baobab tree. They circle up. They begin to interact in what almost looks like a joyful, chaotic celebration. Tails are wagging. High-pitched squeaks and bird-like twitters fill the air. They nuzzle each other, leaping and bowing. It looks like a group of puppies playing, but it's not play, it's preparation. They are building a synchronized mindset. And then they vote. Yes, they literally hold a democratic vote on whether or not to go to war. Using a bizarre but scientifically documented system called a sneeze vote, the pack collectively decides when to begin the hunt. It starts with one dog sharply exhaling air through its nose, a sneeze, then another, and another. Researchers have found that if the dominant alpha pair initiates the sneezing, it only takes about 3 sneezes to rally the pack. But if a lower-ranking subordinate wants to hunt, it takes up to 10 sneezes to convince the rest of the family to move. It is an actual, functioning democracy in the middle of the unforgiving wild. And once the quorum is reached, once the decision is made, the playfulness instantly stops. The mood shifts, and there is absolutely no turning back. Because unlike the cheetah, who reaches 70 miles per hour but burns out its energy reserves in 20 seconds of blinding speed, the painted wolves play a completely different game. They step out into the open plains. They scan the massive herds. They look for the slightest sign of weakness, a limp, a moment of hesitation, an older animal falling slightly behind. They lock onto a target, and then they run. Steady, relentless, calculated. They aren't sprinting. They are pacing at around 30 to 35 miles per hour. And they can hold this terrifying pace for up to 3 straight miles. At a slower jog, they can go for hours. Miles pass. The hooves of the prey kick up massive columns of golden dust into the warm air. The wildebeest sprints, burning its energy, its eyes wide with terror. Heavy white foam forms around its mouth as lactic acid floods its tired muscles. It recovers. It abruptly changes direction. It tries to lose them in a dry riverbed. It looks back, but the pack is still there, always there. Not sprinting, just running. This is where the genius of the painted wolf shines. They don't all run at the front. They use a tactic straight out of professional cycling. They rotate. When the lead dog gets tired of taking the brunt of the wind resistance and the mental toll of tracking, it doesn't stop. It simply slows down, seamlessly falling to the back of the pack. Without missing a single beat, a fresh, fully energized dog surges forward from the rear to take its place, keeping the pressure on the prey at an absolute maximum. Again, and again, and again. It's like a living, breathing machine that never, ever runs out of energy. The prey isn't just being physically chased, it is being psychologically broken. And then the moment comes. The prey makes one mistake, one heavy misstep in a hidden warthog burrow. 1 second of lost rhythm. That's all it takes. The pack recognizes the shift instantly. They communicate without making a sound. The tight formation changes, the speed increases dramatically. They fan out into a wide crescent moon shape, cutting off all angles of escape. The circle closes, precision, coordination, perfection. When they strike, it is fast, and it is brutally efficient. There is no long struggle. The hunt is over in a matter of seconds. And the result of this terrifying system? Let's look at the numbers. Lions, they succeed on average about 25 to 30% of the time. Tigers, often less than 10%. The painted wolves, a hunting success rate of up to 85 to 90%. Let that sink in. 85 to 90% of the time they decide to kill. They kill. They don't just hunt. They almost never fail. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the Savannah's most lethal predator, hit that like button right now and make sure you subscribe. We uncover the untamed truth of the wild every single week. But right here is where the story takes a massive, unexpected turn. Because these ruthless hunters, these absolute masters of endurance, violence, and efficiency, hide one of the most unexpected secrets in the entire animal kingdom. They might just be the most compassionate, loving predators on planet Earth. Inside the pack, everything changes. The strict, brutal rules of the savannah disappear. They are not competitors. They are not rivals looking to steal a piece of meat from one another. They are family, led by a deeply bonded, monogamous alpha pair, the only two who typically breed. The entire structure of the pack is built on immense, unwavering support. Survival is shared by all, or none. Contrast a wild dog kill with a lion pride. When lions take down a buffalo, it is pure, violent chaos. Massive males push their way to the front, swatting away starving cubs. Lionesses fight each other for scraps. The weak often starve. It is completely selfish. But when the painted wolves make a kill, there is no chaos. There is no violent fighting. There is no snarling over a carcass. They eat as quickly as possible, sometimes consuming an entire gazelle in mere minutes, but they do it in peaceful harmony. Why so fast? Because they are lightweight. If a lion or a pack of spotted hyenas hears the commotion and shows up, the dogs will be killed or bullied off their food. So they eat fast and they leave. But what happens next is what truly separates them from the rest of the wild. They return to the den. When pups are born, they are kept hidden deep in underground burrows. The entire pack takes on the role of caregivers. Hunters return from the blood-soaked plains not just to feed themselves, but to feed everyone. The young, the weak, the old, the babysitters who stayed behind to guard the den. The injured. Food is brought back, safely carried inside their own stomachs, acting as living transport vehicles. When they return, the pups swarm them, squeaking and licking the adults' muzzles. This triggers a reflex, and the fearsome hunters willingly and gently regurgitate the fresh, warm meat for the others to eat. If a wild dog breaks its leg from a zebra kick and cannot run, it is not left behind to die. The pack will feed that injured dog for months until it is completely healed. The pups always eat first. Always. Even before the alpha male. Think about the profound weight of that. The exact same animals capable of running a massive wildebeest to absolute exhaustion without a shred of hesitation choose active, selfless kindness, patience, and charity within their own ranks. It is a perfect poetic balance between extreme brutality and unwavering loyalty. But sadly, even this perfect, mathematically brilliant system has a fatal weakness. And it's not a faster predator. It's not something they can outsmart. And it's not something they can outrun. It's us, humans. As the modern world violently closes in, as vast, open habitats shrink into fragmented pockets, as traditional hunting territories vanish behind rusted wire fences and asphalt roads, a marathon runner cannot survive in a cage. These animals need massive territories to survive because of their roaming hunting style, and those open spaces simply don't exist like they used to. They frequently fall victim to wire snares left in the brush by poachers meant for bushmeat, suffering slow, agonizing deaths. And worst of all, as they are forced closer to human villages, they encounter feral domestic dogs. And with those dogs come invisible killers. Deadly diseases like rabies and canine distemper spill over from domestic farm dogs. Because the wild dog pack is so highly social, so intimately connected through licking and grooming, a single infected dog can wipe out an entire pack of 20 in a matter of days. These incredible, intelligent animals are being pushed to the very absolute edge of extinction. A century ago, nearly 500,000 painted wolves roamed across 39 African countries. Today, only about 6,000 remain in the wild. That's it. You could fit the entire surviving population of this magnificent species into a small high school football stadium. One of the most perfectly evolved, efficient and compassionate predators on planet Earth is now fighting a desperate battle it simply cannot win alone. So, I turn the question to you. What fascinates you more about the African painted wolf? Is it their ruthless, unstoppable marathon-running hunting strategy? Or is it their incredible selfless loyalty and love for one another? And honestly, Did you know before today that they actually vote by sneezing before going to war? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. I read absolutely every single one of them, and I love hearing what amazed you the most. If this story pulled you in, if it made you respect the wild just a little bit more, please hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that wildlife stories matter. Share this video with someone who truly loves wildlife. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more untold cinematic stories from the natural world. Because out here on the unforgiving African plains, survival isn't always just about having the biggest teeth or the sharpest claws. It's about intelligence, it's about strategy, it's about the unbreakable bond of family, and sometimes it's simply about putting your head down, taking the next step, and never, ever stopping. Until next time, stay curious and stay wild.